Alright, let's check out this clip. Why is he running like that? Nah, look at him go. What kind of angle is that? It's actually kind of cool though, what the hell? Damn. Hold on a second. I just had an idea. So I was inspired to make a run animation tutorial because of a funny clip I saw recently, if you know what I'm talking about. So with the help of my bro, we cooked up a clean method for making good run cycles. We're going to be making a sprint animation that looks like this, but with enough practice, it can turn into this. Both animations follow the exact same principles, just more detail involved. I'll walk you through everything you need, step by step. The roadmap is 3 steps. 1. Build the sprint animation. 2. Export it. And 3. Script, shift to sprint, and play the animation. Quick note before we start. Use whatever animator you like. I'll be using Roblox Animator, but Moon Animator is totally fine too. The concepts are very similar. I'll explain how to do it in both as we go. There are 6 components to making basically any run or walk animation. This is your animation checklist. Rig plus readable texture, priority, use reference, loop, mirror, and fundamentals. If you nail these, you'll be an expert at animation. Now you can follow along or just watch and learn. Start by using an R15 rig. You can import a rig by going to the avatar menu, character, then import a rig. You can also import a rig from Moon Animator using the character insert plugin that comes with it. Just go to the presets and you will see a variety of options. Choose the rig with the labeled textures. If you're not using Moon Animator, I'll have the texture in the description. Before we continue, I'll quickly show how the animators work. You start with a rig in the default position and you'll see an empty timeline below. Add all body to the editor. This allows you to edit the entire rig. Moon Animator already does this for you. Now you want to right click below the timeline, in line with your rig name, and select Add Keyframe here. This will add keyframes for each body part. You can do the same in Moon Animator by double clicking on the word rig. Then you can start posing your first key pose. Once that pose is finished, move the playhead forward and add another full set of keyframes the same way as before. Then continue with the next pose. That's the whole loop. Pose, advance, pose. Next, set your animation priority. I like doing this right at the start so I don't forget later. For sprint, set the animation to action so it cleanly overrides the default run. To get started, we're going to lock in the fundamentals of a sprint cycle using just the key poses. Contact, down, pass, up, and contact. If you have inspiration or you're trying to replicate another sprint animation, use reference images. Just collect screenshots of each key pose, then replicate them one by one. These are the poses I use for the animation at the beginning of the video. But you can use this for literally any style. Now I'll show you how to do it with a new set of poses for a new animation. To build the sprint cycle, start with the first contact pose using classic sprint coordination. Opposite arm and opposite leg forward at the same time. The lead leg reaches out to hit the ground, the trailing leg stays bent and ready to drive through, and the torso should lean slightly forward so the pose feels athletic instead of upright. Once that first pose looks good, copy and paste it to the other side of the cycle, then place another copy halfway through the animation and mirror it so it becomes the opposite contact pose. Before we keep building the cycle, I want to quickly explain mirroring in a bit more detail, since we're already using it here, and it will make the rest of the process much easier to follow. If you are using Moon Animator, this part is much easier. Select the keyframes you want to mirror, then press Control R to flip them. Copy those flipped keyframes, flip the original side back with Control R again, then paste the flipped keyframes into the second half of the animation. Just make sure you paste them at the matching point in the timeline and keep the same spacing, so the rhythm of the cycle stays consistent. If you're using Roblox Animator, it gets a bit trickier because Roblox Animator does not have a built-in mirror function. That means you have to mirror the poses manually. I recommend using this method to mirror the animation in Roblox Animator. Number 1. Copy and paste all the keyframes from your pose. Paste them where you need it to be mirrored. Number 2. For the head, upper torso, and lower torso, all you need to do is flip the positive or negative value for position X and rotation Y and Z. That's it. Number 3. For the arms and legs, you need to swap the values from the left side to the right side, and from the right side to the left side. After that, flip the same positive and negative values as before for both sides. If a value is 0, flipping it will still leave it at 0, so you don't need to worry about that. Be careful with the values because one wrong number can make the pose look off very quickly. And if you make changes after mirroring, go back to the matching pose, and on the other side, update that one too. Now at this point, you can already preview the animation playing between those two contact poses. With them in place, you now have the foundation of the run cycle and a feel for the timing. Getting that mirrored contact in place early gives you a kind of skeleton for the whole animation, which helps you understand the spacing, rhythm, and timing before you fill everything else in. But we are not done yet, because if we leave it like this, it will still look rough. Their legs are not moving through the cycle properly yet, so now we need to build the in-between poses. From here, create the down, pass, and up poses. Down is where the body drops into the planted foot after the contact. Pass is where the legs and arms move past each other through the middle of the cycle. Up is the final push of the back foot into the air, right before landing into the next contact pose. Then after that, you land into the next contact, which is just the mirrored version of the first side, which we've already completed. Use the reference poses as a guide while building each pose. As you go, adjust things based on what looks good to you. It does not need to match the reference photos perfectly. They are there to guide the animation, not to lock you into copying them exactly. When building the poses, it usually helps to focus on the legs first, because they do most of the work in making the sprint feel believable. They control the ground contact, the weight, and a lot of the realism. If needed, you can also add extra keyframes between your main poses to help keep the feet flat against the ground, which is what I've done here. The arms are usually easier because once your first contact pose and its mirrored version are working, the arm motion is already mostly established. From there, you can make small tweaks in the other poses if you want to add more detail. And during a sprint, the arms can swing slightly inward to help keep the body balanced. Also, do not be afraid to exaggerate the poses. Sprinting needs to be strong, readable shapes to look good. Once you finish the first half of the cycle, the next step is to mirror it. Copy the poses, excluding the contact poses, and paste them in the second half, keeping the same spacing. Then you can mirror them using the same process from earlier. And there you go. Those are the 6 components. If you followed along, you should have a sprint animation. Hopefully not something extreme like my original one. Step 2. Now let's export it and wire shift sprint. Publish the animation, name it anything you'd like, and copy the animation ID. That ID is what we load in the script. You can copy it to your clipboard and paste it somewhere safe so you don't forget. Step 3. Now we're going to wire the shift key to increase walk speed, play the sprint animation, stop the animation when you stop sprinting or stop moving. Go to Starter Player scripts, then add a local script. Name it Sprint Client. This is an input, so it must be a local script. This is going to be the full sprint script we are using. Now I'll quickly break it down piece by piece so you actually understand it, not just copy and paste it. Settings. This is where you can change normal speed, sprint speed, animation ID, and a tiny fade so it doesn't snap. State. These are the saved variables. We store the humanoid and sprint track so we can control sprint instantly. Setup. This runs on spawn. It grabs the humanoid and animator, resets speed, and loads the sprint animation. Start and stop sprint. When you press shift, you speed up and play the sprint animation. Releasing shift returns to normal speed and stops the sprint animation. Movement sync. This is the polish. The sprint animation only plays while you're moving. Stop moving, animation stops. Input. It listens for a shift press and release, and it ignores shift if you're typing in chat or using UI. Respawn proof. Every respawn, it reconnects everything to the new character, so sprint never breaks. If character already exists. Sometimes it already spawned when the script starts, so this sets it up immediately. And that's it. Custom sprint animation, exported, and shift sprint fully wired. With enough practice and polishing your skills, you can create animations like this. If you have any questions at all, comment down below. I'll be answering every single one. Thanks for watching.